Hey everybody, welcome back to Boba and Books. It is me, Beth.
And it is I, Valerie.
Today we're back at it again with the Hunger Games series.
And this is part 3 and the final part in our Hunger Games series.
Unless we review the new book.
Which we will, but we're going to put that aside for now. And I'll also leave a link in the description to the part 1 and 2, which is the Hunger Games and Catching Fire.
So, first of all, I am so sorry if I look like a lobster. You can't really see it on camera, but I got extraordinarily sunburnt, and that's why I'm wearing a jacket, because I need to protect my arms. And yeah.
And also, sorry if you have some background noise. Yeah. We're near some streets, and so that's great. So today I have cranberry pomegranate green tea.
Today I have maple ginger tea with caramel vanilla
syrup
creamer, I think. I don't even remember. But it's really good.
But I guess you do you? Question mark?
It's really good, and that's all that matters.
All right. Anyways, let's get right into it.
So,
Mockingjay. My least favorite.
Just summarize what happens, because I read this a while ago.
So, in the entire Hunger Games trilogy, pretty much it follows our main character, Katniss, who lives in District 12, which the world, or America, I guess, is divided into 12 districts. And then in these North American districts, there is one that is the capital, or the all-powerful, which pretty much holds a dictatorship over all the other capitals, all the other districts. And this is just called the capital. Yeah. Where all the pretty much rich people live. And then every year, to be like, hey, you thought you were going to rebel against us? Nah, boy. They pretty much take one girl and one boy from each district. And all like
the death.
And then they bring everyone together, and they're like, okay, now fight to the death. The odds be everyone in favor.
Quirky, cute.
And then so Katniss gets picked. That's book 1. And then in book 1, it ends with her something.
Okay. And all the love stuff with Peeta. It's really crazy.
You know what? Just this is spoilery, so go read the books or look out part 1 and part 2 if you do not want spoilers. But anyways, pretty much she wins, along with Peeta, our male protagonist.
Yeah, and basically they just they cause a rebellion.
And so in book 2, they're all chilling, oh my god, PTSD, but And then so
I almost said Mr. Snow. Oh my gosh. President Snow is out you were saying.
And so they start another Hunger Games. Well, it's
wait,
because every year, And then they're like, you thought you could get away with not being in the Hunger Games? Actually, in the 75th Hunger Games, we're drawing all the past victors, including, that's right, you, Katniss.
So Peeta and Katniss go in, and they make a bunch of friends, and then they totally ruin the arena, and then all the rebels are like, we're gonna snatch you, leave Peeta, ah ha ha ha. And then she's like, boy. And then she
right.
They're edgy, and then she's like, So she gets mad because Peeta's gone, but then they find out that stuff happens to Peeta, District 12 gets blown up.
It's rebellion stuff. So anyways, what didn't you like? This is my least favorite book in the trilogy. Just gonna say it.
Second favorite. Least favorite thing about this book. I despise Katniss in this book.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, but throughout the whole series, it's a
Kind
three-book.
of jerk.
It's a 3-book series. It's a trilogy.
Yeah.
And each book has around 300, 400 pages. That's a lot of pages in total. That's like what, 900 to 1,200 pages? It's a lot. It's a lot of pages. And not once do I see Katniss have any bit of character development.
Except for getting more mental issues.
I'm sorry, but like,
But
she's
that's
like,
not about character development.
she's like, I'm cold-hearted and I fight for my sister and whatever. And in the end, she's like, I'm even more cold-hearted, except my sister's, not so here.
Not a good look, Katniss. You're kind of a jerk.
So
Nobody
I just
really
feel like she's overall a great character, but I feel like if we're going to spend 1,200 pages, even the best characters can get at least a bit of character development, right?
Yeah, at least like Peeta gets development. Like we see development.
Development. He was great in the beginning.
We see the dark side of Gale in the next books.
I mean, he was great in the beginning, like good. He was great, like he was like soft boy or whatever.
He was just like, yeah, you should
But
choose
later
him.
on, he learned a lot of things, and even though he had all these issues, he managed to fight through, and you could tell how much of a stronger person he was. Because that's a war. It makes people stronger. It brings out either the best or worst in people. And Katniss was just sort of there.
Like neutral.
And I feel like throughout the whole book 3, she never made any really decisions for herself. It was always what's best for the people around her. And you could say that's like selfless or whatever. You call it selfless, but I really didn't get to know her character that way. Because if we never see any action she does for herself, then how do we know what kind of character she is? How do we know what she likes, what things she likes, what she does?
She makes it out to seem like everything she does is so selfish. But if you really think about it, it's like you're not really doing anything.
Also, like, yeah, like if you think about it, you could say like, oh yeah, like she never really had time to think about what she likes and what she needs, and I agree with that, but like at least have her explore these ideas. Like, what if I did this? What if I had more time to do this?
Yeah.
What would it be like? Instead, she's just like fight. And I don't know, I just don't feel she's very human. I feel like she's more of a robot. She's just like, I have to power through. And you need that mentality to survive a war. But at the same time, it's like, she needs to, like, sometimes I wish she would just show more of her.
Also, like, she didn't do anything selfish, which like is like, okay, yeah, go you, not being selfish. But at the same time, it's like, that's not who we learned her character to be. At the beginning of the first book, she was only doing stuff for her and her family. It was about herself and Gale.
Like this character development in that way, but is it really?
It's like she like sees Peeta and then she's like a different person. Which I mean, like, same, but at the same time, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know. I still ship her and Peeta way more than I ship her and Gale, but I don't feel like they're a good ship overall.
Yeah.
They're not the best couple.
It's like at the end of the Mockingjay.
Okay, they're a decent couple. I feel like they're a Charlotte and Henry situation from Infernal Devices. They're like, they don't mind being together, but they don't exactly like necessarily want to be together. They're just sort of like there to cope. I feel like, yes, it's important to have like a friend as like, to be also friends with the person you're dating, I guess. But like, I feel like honestly, they're just acting as each other's therapists.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's great and all, but like,
girl,
I feel like at that point you guys should just stay friends, like really, really close friends, and just call it that.
Also, I just found like at the end of the Mockingjay, nobody's happy. They're just kind of there. They're just like, we learn.
That is realistic for a war.
That's true, but at the same time, it's like.
Also, is it only me who hated the ending?
I actually really liked it, but at the same time, it was like.
I absolutely hated it. It's like, we spent 3 books tolerating Gale, and we barely know what happens at the end to him.
Honestly, couldn't care less what happens to him.
Honestly, but like, I wish it's a love triangle. Everyone reads it because they want to know who she'll choose. She never really chose anybody. She just sort of went with it.
She was like, okay,
everything
so
else in book 3, she just went with it. Everything in book 3, she just went with. And
also, everybody's like, okay, maybe not everybody, but I feel like it's kind of underrated what Gale did to Prim. Like, you might think, okay, yeah, well, like, he didn't know. I'm like, yeah, but his intent was still to kill children.
And I feel like, really, we already knew she was going to choose Peeta. Like, everybody who goes into the series, whether or not you're a Gale fan or you're a Peeta fan, we all know she's going to choose Peeta. Because
I mean, except for that one person.
I wish someone would have been like, okay, Peeta, you're the one I want. Instead of just being like, I mean, I guess I guess I hate Gale more than I hate you, so I mean, I'll go with you, I guess.
Yeah, like,
and I was like,
no.
This is like, if it is like in the epilogue too, this is who she's pretty much spending the rest of her life with, right? Because that's the epilogue. I feel like she'd do more than just be like, well, I mean, I guess you don't suck.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, you know?
Also, not to mention, with that mentality, plus they had kids, like, I feel bad for Peeta more than Katniss at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he loves this girl, and then she's like, no, but then she's like, okay.
I mean, I guess it was kind of sweet where she's like, oh my god, Peeta, when she saw him like hurting and whatever, but I don't know.
I feel bad for him because he like really loves her, and then she's like, no, but then she's like, okay, maybe because
it's much more than more as a friend than a love interest, and I wish if that's what Suzanne Collins was going for, they stayed friends.
Yeah. Like, that's why we put him on the top 10, like, least favorite love interest. Not because I don't like him. Like, he's a great character, but they would have been better off as friends instead of, like, love interest. Because I think it's totally cute, but she just didn't go with it. And
like, I feel like that's what a YA needs a lot more of, just friends. Literally, like, other than Finnick Odair, I can't name a single person a single male she's just friends with. You know what? Scratch that. Other than Finnick Odair, there's not a single person who's just friends with her.
Who's just friends. Like, either they're like, or they're like best, but actually she doesn't even have any best buddies. Or like,
you could say Prim, but like, they got a sister relationship. Like, that's good, like, you're friends, but that's more of a I protect you because you my sister friend relationship.
Spoilers, plus she dies.
Like, I mean, can we just talk about how in the first book they were all like, Gale, you'll protect her, right? Yeah, psych. Anyways, wasn't that.
We hate Katniss. Yes. Okay, moving on. What did you love about it?
So not a lot of things. I really like Joanna Mason. That's all I'm gonna say. Also Finnick, but like Finnick dies, so.
Honestly, it was so sad. I was like, my poor boy. It's like, I feel my heart crack. I felt my heart crack.
Also, like, I mean, it wasn't that sad to me, just because we didn't have I need, like, time after deaths to have it fully sink in, and I'll be like, oh my god.
Dang! And then I moved on.
Yeah, but they were just like, Finnick! And they're like, well, sucks to be him. Continue.
I was like, dang, boy, okay.
Not a lot of the deaths were that impactful to me.
Rue is quick. Oh, wait, in the Mockingjay area. Mm-hmm. I think when she killed
time for it to sink in. And the only really sad thing to me, like, I love Finnick, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't think the death was done well enough that I was like, oh my god, we lost Finnick.
I was like, dang, boy.
Wait, and then I was more like, wait, what just happened?
I kind of expected him to come back. I was like, oh, he's...
Yeah, like, I expected him just to rise out of the water.
And to be like, hey, I'm good, bros. And then
also, like, Prim's death. Like, I didn't even know she died.
It's like, dang. Okay, let's move on.
It was literally, she was like, Katniss was like, then there was fire and flames and whatever. And then it wasn't until she said, my name is Katniss Everdeen. I am from District 12. I am a winner of the 75th Hunger Games, and my sister Prim is dead. And when she said my sister Prim is dead, that's when I knew Prim was dead. Before then, I didn't even know what happened. I was like, wait, what?
What? Oh shoot, fire or something? What's happening? Bomb?
Yeah, I'm like, I thought she hallucinated. I thought she was hallucinating.
Where she like passed out and she was like seeing stuff.
Yeah, like I thought she was hallucinating. I legit thought she was hallucinating. So I was so like I didn't know what was going on.
I thought maybe they were getting attacked.
Oh, also, I absolutely loved how she and President Snow sort of had a minor alliance at the end. I love that! Eat that up! Where she was like, when President Snow was talking to her, and they were having like a normal civilized conversation, and he was like, yeah. And he's pretty much like, yeah, anyways, kill President Coin for me. And she's like, sure, why not? I love that.
President Snow was one of my favorite characters.
President Snow is literally one of my favorite characters. He's such a mood all the time. Like, killing children, but, like, also a mood. Also, like, using roses as, like, to mask the smell of poison. That is the mood. Like, I want, like, perfume smelling like poison-infused roses.
I thought it was so interesting how she goes in and she has a conversation with him. And she just has, like, a chill running down her spine the whole time, but she's just like talking to him. And
but I loved how they had this just the most calm like thing ever. I love that so much because I feel like there's so many YA books where like the main character meets a villain and they're like, I will murder you, I will kill you. It was such a breath of fresh air to just be like, how you doing?
Society, like there isn't like a black and white with like
exactly.
Like everybody has their reasons.
Especially to war, I wouldn't say there was a right side in war.
Yeah, like especially with the Hunger Games, I was like,
and so I love that so much. How they were just like, and how President Snow. Can we just talk about how President Snow said, "It's in the most nonchalant voice ever, well tied to a chair in a rose garden, watching the person who's going to kill him. So when are you gonna kill me?" Yes! Can we just say it? That is the mentality I want to have. I just want to be like, yo, so when are you gonna kill me?
Like,
he does not care at all. He's just like,
and that's what I love most about him. He's
and also like, his evil cackle at the end when she literally murders Coin.
Okay, well, I mean, favorite character
I think that ends our Mockingjay rant.
It was definitely not a review, but it was a wait, out of 10.
All right, out of 10. Solid 6.
Wow.
Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Solid 7. You know what? Scratch that. 6.5. 6.5. I'll keep it at a good.
I'm gonna go with 8 again.
I mean, it was a good book. It was a solid read. It just wasn't my favorite.
Okay, I'm just not good at comparing books.
It was just a solid read. A good solid read.
It was solid.
Like, you gotta read it, but like at the same time, I feel like especially in young adults, authors always have really messy ends to the series. Like, the series in the beginning is a bang. The middle, it's pretty good. And then the end is just like, what? I mean,
I kind of like the ending.
I mean, I think I really liked, I don't know if I liked the epilogue necessarily, but I liked the last, how it ended on, but there are worse games to play. I was like, oh my god.
That was pretty neat. The epilogue, well, you know that there are worse games to play is the epilogue, right?
I know. Like, I didn't like the epilogue, but I liked that line.
Oh, right. Same.
I mean, I guess I kind of like the epilogue because it was kind of a sweet view where the whole book was sort of depressing. You know what? I feel like that's why I didn't like the book as much. Usually in books, you like that little like humorous bit, and then you like the dark bits because that makes the dark bits.
Like you have the comic relief
because that makes the dark bits all more impactful because they had these funny moments. That's what makes these dark bits all the more impactful. And I feel like when you've got such solid characters as Peeta, as Gale, I would say, because their intentions are very solid. Like, you know,
Especially,
Finnick,
okay.
Annie was like the more, like, it was interesting to see Annie because she was more like insane, had sort of lost herself, but it was interesting to see their relationship. Also, Joanna, who's such a feisty, hateful person, vengeful.
I don't even know why you like her.
When you've got such characters who are so solid, I really think it would be great to just have some banter thrown in there. I mean,
Yeah.
Katniss isn't the type to talk, but that doesn't mean Finnick isn't.
Yeah.
Like, haha, yeah, yeah. And then, like, Peeta or something could be like, yeah, or Gale could be like, well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, not gonna lie, this is really random. But like Gale, I thought it was so weird how we like saw another side of him in Mockingjay. Cause you know how like
I mean,
he
I
was
kind of like that.
gonna
'Cause,
kill
like,
a bunch of
sometimes
people.
people do succumb to that, like, more selfish bit. So I kind of like
Yeah,
that.
I know, and I thought it was really interesting.
I didn't like him as a love interest, but I
Nah.
really liked him as a character. Because he
I
was
mean,
just
he was number one on our list.
interesting.
He's gross. He is so grody, okay?
Anyways, I think that's going to end our rant for today. Thank you for wasting your life with us.
This like extraordinarily long video. We will try to keep them short.
Like and subscribe because
no promises. I don't know what I'm
because
talking
I mean
about.
I want to get sponsors soon. We need that. Like, this tea ain't cheap. No, just kidding. It's these books ain't cheap.
Like,
Anyways,
like
thank you guys so much for watching.
I'm literally stepping. I'm. There are books all around me. If you couldn't see, and these things cost money, and I don't have a lot of money.
We need that dough. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching and supporting us. Yeah.
We can't wait to see our channel grow and talk to you guys more and make people happy with our content.
Make sure you sip that tea while spilling the tea, and yeah.
Don't spill on your books though, because we're not paying for damage.
Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever. And if it's 3 a.m. where you are right now, go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Anyways, bye.
We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.